notifications. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna make this a really quick meeting because we had our annual meeting last week or 2 weeks ago, last month, and all the committees reported anyway. So we're gonna start with stakeholders, and we'll start with Diana. If you're ready. If you're ready. You can take, I think this one's still on.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for sitting through that. Glad to see some people stay. My hearing aids are echoing. Oh, it's big. So we're gearing down for the season as we kind of go into a slower time. However, we have a lot of events going on, so trying to keep things busy for the community to come to. So we have $10 wine tasting at the end, the second Tuesday, so next week. We have a wine dinner on the 20th. We, of course, are doing Thanksgiving. The fun thing about Thanksgiving is if you come in-house, we send you home with leftovers, because that's the problem with going out, right? But we also offer a takeout version, so if you don't want to be out, you want to sit in your comfy home, you now have that option too. And then thinking about Christmas, like I've started to go to some craft fairs and bazaars, trying to figure out, oh, what am I doing for Christmas? Just a reminder that the marina, the inn, and the golf course all have retail. And they have different types of retail. So I know at the golf course there's glasses, hats, there's an ornament, there's some other little things like that. At the marina, they have children's books and some children's items. And they also have glassware, and they have kind of serving platter type thing. It's mud pie. You might be familiar with mud pie. And then at the end, of course, we have the bath salts and hand salts, and there's some jewelry. We have the artist league pictures in there, so if you're looking for art, and with bathrobes and some clothing. All of the outlets have clothing, of course. But anyways, just to remind you that that's available, and the golf course is having a sale, December 9th through the 14th. Kind of fun event. The members probably have some credits online, so we're also trying to get the members to come in, spend their credits. And then, of course, the tree lighting, the 5th annual tree lighting at the Village Center will occur on December 6th. We'll have caroling. We'll have, hopefully, well, for sure have cookies and hot chocolate. We're also asking some of the businesses to contribute something. We're excited to see that kind of step up a little bit, I think, even this year, with what I've seen with the pet parade and all the other things happening, which is really good. And the boat parade at the marina will decorate. The boats will have like an internal judging, but on December 20th, they will actually have the boat parade, Santa, and just a nice little event bonfire. So if you want to come out and see that, that would be really fun. And then the inn still has happy hour from 2 to 5 every day. And the happy hour is great because it's $5 beer and wine, $6 beer and wine. And they have some craft cocktails, mocktails. They have light fare, and then they have some heavier meals. So if you just want to get an early dinner in, why not have that? And then we also brought back our sunset dinners, which is a 3-course, and it goes from 3 to 5, Monday through Thursday. And if you haven't signed up for our newsletter has all this information in it. It comes out once a month. We do not sell your email or anything, but it keeps you apprised of events happening, as well as any special, or sometimes we do a contest and we give away a great gift. I think it was truffles last time. They said identify these. So if you haven't signed up, please do. And I'll take any questions.
What time is the boat parade on December maybe you're about to say, let me see. Diana, we just want to thank you for the pet parade, for letting us move in and take over the inn on that day when we thought it was going to be pouring rain. And the turnout was just fantastic, and we just really appreciate everything your team did.
That was
All your everybody came out. Everything we needed, it was wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you.
And Dave, and Sam. So let me thank Dan. Yeah, I tried to call him,
Definitely.
but he's too busy.
I already let him know and let his team know. Yes, of course. I always pass it along. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Jameson, quick, before the power goes out.
Yeah, so you saw that plane, right? So that's
How
a
fitting would
good,
that be?
so that's a good indicator of a recloser working its magic.
Thank you.
Typically, that would be when you see that in your house and you get that little, it'll be 2 or 3. That is the substation like safety device kind of doing its magic to protect very expensive equipment. It's not saying that it's right here anywhere close by, but my phone will probably buzz in a second to tell me that a feeder is opened up somewhere in our system. That is it trying to force that issue to get that object off the line. So, little fun fact. And our line crews out there in all weather, and it is nasty, so you can imagine how crappy that is. But my name is Jameson Holland, Jefferson PUD Communications Team, and it's good to see everybody. It was really interesting. It was really cool to hear about the water and wastewater system here. That was a great report, so that was cool to sit down. On our end, we have similar things happen where it's budget season. There's conversation. We have a new budget since we didn't have a meeting last go round. I wasn't able to say, hey, it's passed, but we have an approved budget for 26. It is the largest budget to date. It is $89 million, and that is just up a little bit from the last one. And a lot of what's included in that total is grant funding. So if you take that out, then it's actually not the largest. But we have a ton of money coming in on the grant side, on the broadband specifically, since we secured $65 million. Now, unfortunately, as I've said in previous meetings, that doesn't really impact Ludlow because y'all are served according to the eyes of the state and federal entities. I'm sorry, I know service can be awful here and there. But know that our network is being built robust enough to expand in the future. You just got to talk to Dan Tuber, who sends his regards. He's the commissioner for this district. And you can always reach out to him and say, hey, Dan, it's that broadband. And it helps to register on our website. It's free. It puts a dot on the map that says I'm interested, and we love that. So basically, I just want to pass along that our budget is approved. We had the cycle through, but we do have a new GM. He was at one of our previous meetings here. And I'm sure Joe will join us in the future one. Right now, he's down with Dan at PPC, which is Public Power Operations down in Portland right now, putting in the good work for us. Because we are a public utility like 28 others in the state, and we all do our best to advocate for the issues to keep costs low for all of us. And that's kind of what Joe is thrust into as our new GM, is getting to travel. I will be joining him and Dan back in DC to be part of a group of Washington-based utilities to really, really press our legislators and at the national level to just make funding available for infrastructure. Because that dollar amount that I threw out there is big. Like on the infrastructure side, we have 11.7 million on the electric side. That's a lot of capital investment. And that's what we need to have as an infrastructure. We're talking about what's underground here with the water systems. We also, because we don't have poles everywhere in the Ludlow area, you got to consider the age of the infrastructure underground here as well. It's a big challenge. You're talking 60 years on the water system. Well, our undergrounding, even if it was done in the 70s, 80s, we inherited that. Maximum life for a typical distribution line is 30 years. After that, every day's a good day. So when you get an outage in these underground systems in your neighborhood and we have to dig up, that's why I was oohing and awing at the back truck. Boy, if we had that, it cut down our time. Because you have to call in dirt work, you have to fix the problem, but you're putting a small section in, upgrading that section. But remember, the rest of
actually work.
There you go.
It does. And I'm pulling that hot water heater out and putting in a heat pump hot water heater. And it's gonna cost me about $1,500 doing it myself. I'm gonna get about $800 or so, roughly, utility district rebate, and then there's federal rebates as well. So that just about pays for the hot water heater. And that's giving me $600 less a year estimated electrical costs, and that's at current rates. And we know that's not reality. Power's going to be going up a lot here in the near future.
So, a couple things, actually check our rebates now, if you haven't installed it yet, the rebate amount, you'll get a check back at the amount that we now, since we're doing self-installs. Talk to Kyle Chase, our energy efficiency specialist, he can do in-home assessments too, so just contact him, he'll come out and say, your space is good for it, it's not, because heat pump water heaters are unique, where they pull heat from the air around it. You can have a very cold closet, that needs to be a good size. But the rebate amounts went up considerably from EPA on those. So if you self-install, you can save not only purchase price, but you can actually save money on top of that.
And people don't realize how well this works. My hot water heater is right next to my hot air furnace. It's leaking heat in my garage. Hot water pump, it's going to suck it up and put it in the water.
It's crazy science, I love it. Yeah.
Just at the meeting at the library this week, maybe it was, you made a really interesting comment about when the power goes off, for us to go turn our water heater off to prevent that cold surge thing you talked about. And
That's
I've never heard that
cold load.
before.
Yeah, so during a cold load kind of pickup, it goes back to that, you build a grid to your peaks, right? Your peak cold is what you're shooting for. And as we saw in January 24, that got really cold, like really cold. And the problem is you're maxing out a lot of transformers at that point. When you can shed load, say your power goes out, it's that emergency curve, that bell curve you see. On our end, we can see the power increase. Your water heater goes into emergency mode. And it says, oh, I'm back, I got power. Oh no, I need to get this hot. And it instantly, all your neighbors ramp up at the same time. And that creates a spike. We watch it, and then we hit 200 amps, and there it goes. So if you can't, you don't have to every single time. Like if you're out for a few hours and your water tank is starting to get colder, just very quickly, if you got it labeled, you know exactly what it is, flip it, and give it about 30 minutes after the power's back on, and then go flip it again, and you're good. That saves us that initial upswing from the peak, and that's why it's very frustrating when you'll see about 5 minutes in, the power will back out. It's because you're exceeding the amp draw on that. That's right.
Good to know.
Well, cool. Well, any other questions? Feel free to reach out. I'm on our about page, so my name, contact information, phone, all that stuff is there. So please don't hesitate.
Thank you. HOA updates. Joan, do you have anything you want to share?
Oh, just very briefly, our current general manager, Brian Belmont, will retire effective 12/31. His replacement, Mike Wilson, has been on the job with him, being mentored, and part of the transition is we will have an external audit of the 2025 financials as Brian leaves and Mike takes over, just to be sure everything is above board. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
The outdoor pool is still closed.
Well, only until January 1st, though, right? Whatever day the plunge is. Carolyn had to leave because she was going to pick up a kitty cat from a surgery. But she wanted me to remind folks that tomorrow at the Bay Club is the monthly fundraiser pancake breakfast from 8:30 to 10. And tomorrow they're raising money for the Tri-Area Food Bank. It's not technically open to the public. You an invited guest, but I work the door, so if anybody wants to come, you're my guest. Moving on to board business, we have a handful of things we need to approve. Starting with, thanks guys. The minutes from the September 4th, 2025 special meeting right after, oh no, that's the regular meeting, sorry. September 4th. That everybody saw, I trust, or is everybody had access?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
2 seconds.
Any discussion, questions, comments, concerns? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Excellent. The second one is that October 21st brief meeting we had after the annual meeting to elect officers. Again, should have been in your email yesterday, I think. Do we have a motion to approve that?
Motion made.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? No. In favor? Opposed? That one passes. Then we need to get in writing in our minutes approval of the new signatories at the bank. So replacing John Goldwood and Tam and, John Hodge. Yeah, would be myself, Gary Hammond, and Howard, who's calling Harold, Howard Weiner. Do we have a motion for that?
Motion made.
And a second?
Second.
And go. Any discussion, comments, questions, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then we have had a couple of new committee assignments, primarily to the Relations Committee.
Yeah,
Business
this
Relations.
might be new, but it's, right now it's community and business relations.
And both Chris and Gary would like to join that committee, and in order to do that, we have to have a motion and approve it.
So moved.
So moved. So seconded?
Joe. Who's second?
I'm testing our new secretary, we're going as fast as I possibly can. There was a second, any discussion? And those in favor? And those opposed? That one passes. And then the last thing we need to approve is Colleen, is going to be assigned as the Community Opportunity Fair Liaison, work with Tam next year, as Tam will be stepping away after next year's Community Opportunity Fair. Can I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We can pass again. Thanks, everybody. A quick treasurer's report, just because we're here and we should do that monthly.
Sure. So be general with me, this is my first one. As of 10/31, we had $16,940.42 on hand, cash on hand. Community contributions of October, $2,358.16. And I just want to note at this time that in September, the previous month, we had $3,367.38 in community contributions, for a total of just under $6,000 in the 2 months. We had payables of $283, PLV expenses of $957.67. Cash on hand for 11/1/2025 is $18,057.91. Any questions? It's just the Reader's Digest version, money in, money out.
And that's really all we need. If people want more details, we can provide them. Did you want to do a brief Trails Liaison report, Howard?
Sure. I will be brief. I'm the liaison to the Trails Committee. The Trails Committee is a committee of the Port Buzzell Village Council, and they operate mostly autonomously in that they just want to build trails. But PLVC is their, essentially, we administer the monies that come through. $1,000 comes through from PLA, $1,000 from South Bay, $1,000 from PLA, and $1,000 from us. And that makes up almost their total budget. But briefly, since Larry Scott was out of town, we ended up in a couple of conversations, starting with signs, because John, who's made all the new signs that are now up on our trails, noted that he had to take down a sign. And that was at OT2, with a trail that OT2 board wanted to see stopped for the time being, because they thought it might interfere with folks, their backyards, you know, that people walking through those trails. That still has to be resolved. And then the only other thing coming up, and Carolyn's not here, and I won't go into the weeds, but at the South Bay Community Association annual meeting last July, it was brought up in the presentation that they need to discuss trails at the South Bay Community Association in regards to our insurance. And I have all the memorandums of understanding that are the agreements that we have with everywhere they work. But we're going to have that conversation. It will be deeper. But I just wanted to bring the board particularly up to speed that don't do that. Now, one last thing I want to say is that I did ask that a member of the Trails Committee start attending our meetings, and that we can build a stronger relationship. I'm a liaison, but I do not represent Trails, and that's I'm very sensitive to that. So I want to make sure that that can happen. That individual happens to be Jerry Kelch, the gentleman that presented to the board and did such a wonderful job with the Trails report. He has said that with Larry's blessing, he'd be glad to come, but we will see. And that's my goal. Anyway, that's my report. Thank you.
Do you accept comments from Taylor?
Indeed.
So the Trails Committee put forward to the LTAC Committee, that's the Lodging and Tax Advisory Committee,
Oh, the grant.
a grant for $7,500.
That's
And
correct.
it appears, preliminarily, it appears that that grant will be fully funded. They endured many hours of deliberations to consider numerous applications for the funding. And it appears that that will be fully funded. They have their final deliberation on Friday. It's not so much supposed to be a deliberation as it is to discuss a rounding error in the final distribution amount. So I think it's pretty safe to say and that grant was for printing literature of the maps.
Yeah, I can speak to that. I did speak to it because it was still in process, but the fact of the matter is that the application went in for the $7,500. It's to do new maps, to upgrade. We now have over 30 miles of trails in Port Ludlow that these folks maintain. And by the way, there's been over 1,485 hours of volunteerism to date, roughly. And that will go a long ways. So that's very good news. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. The only other thing I have on our board business agenda is our upcoming workshop schedule. Our regularly scheduled workshop is on the 18th of this month here at Bay Club. And then we're going to try and squeeze in a couple more in early December, depending on people's availability and what we need to cover. We've just got all new officers and a third of a new board. We just get together, get our heads together, and make a plan for the year. And I think that's all we have. We have a section for audience comments from any of the three of you. Jackson?
There's Jackson. Hi there. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jackson. I'm not a Portlandian, but I'm working for honorary
It
status.
covers us Luddites.
Luddites. I'm not a Portlandite. But I'm working towards honorary status, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
I come here today. I wear lots of hats in this community, but today I'm going to put on my Chinookum Band Boosters hat. I don't know if the new brewers have gotten down here yet, but on Monday, November the school. However, at that time, we will be making a huge surprise announcement that affects our children, our band. It's a complete surprise to them, so they're going to be finding out live. Yes. So don't tell anything. No, and we're going to have Team 5 coming. Seattle Times is coming. The leader will be there at PM as possible. I don't know, they said we'd send somebody and then never really confirmed. But I would love it if any of you or all of you could attend. You want to come. And this will be at the Chimicum High School.
What was the date and time?
That was my question.
Thank you. Yes, at the Chimicum High School in the auditorium. If you know the layout, it's kind of in the middle of the building. We're going to have some people outside kind of shuffling in. So if you're available, I'd love to have you there.
What's the date?
What time?
Oh, sorry. It'll be on Monday, November 10th at 1:15. Expect about an hour.
Is,
I don't want to tell you.
Oh, you're not telling me?
No, I don't want to take it.
Oh.
is PLPA involved in this?
Is PL? I don't think so.
Well, we have to get them involved. Or local performing arts, they give grants.
Oh, yes. I am.
As does Ludlow Village Players.
Yes. I think that was an individual grant, so we have to.
Well, we're having trouble giving away individual grants.
Okay, well, then we'll apply.
So we are also considering changing the answer, sorry. And we're also considering grants, they're smallish, but grants to support band trips for competitions.
Oh.
Things like that.
So this would be.
Right up that
Yeah.
alley.
Should we spoil the surprise, or do you guys?
Where is it?
You're streaming the meeting. You're streaming the meeting.
I am streaming this as well.
Oh, no, this is streaming.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, so
You're
you're
live.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, we see what.
Okay, no, everybody who's listening.
Mum's the word.
JK.
So, my last question.
Yes.
If you don't know, his dog, he has a great name, and it's the most wonderful dog in the world. So,
And he's,
Wait a minute, you haven't.
hey, you met.
I love Bud. He sits on me every time he sees me, so.
Barry, do you have any comments? I'm gonna ask
Oh,
everybody.
no.
Yeah.
All good.
Okay.
All good.
Thank you, folks.
Then, Jones, is it time?
It is time. I move to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?
Yes.
I'm gonna call it 5 o'clock. I'll be darned.
Where's Kansas? Yeah.
Look at the DOT website. We do have.
I did, this just kind of came out of nowhere. We just got the introduction 3.5 minutes ago. Our TVC is
could just tell it was a trick. Thanks, Joe.
Oh, James.